And welcome in, my young Padawans, back to the Bros Watch the Mandalorian. This is episode 3 for us. We're going over today, season 2, episode 3, chapter 11. I think that makes this one. Yeah. So we're going to jump right in. I know we've been kind of nerding out and taking a lot of time on these recaps, so we're going to jump right in. The first big event, kind of that we get, obviously we get to Trask and, Frog Lady finds Frog Guy.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda tries to eat a squid out of chowder.
Yep.
In
It tries to get them back.
in classic Mandalorian fashion, Jaren gets double crossed by the squid face people, and it's too many names of races in Star Wars for me to keep track of. But we did get an appearance from Admiral Akbar's race, so I like that. I still don't know what they're called. I mean, I've been watching Star Wars my entire life. I don't know what Admiral
Also,
Akbar's
was
race
that the same voice actor that did Admiral Akbar? Because it sounded very similar.
It might have been. I didn't see anything about it. But, So, of course, Mando Jaren is double crossed by the squid face people on the boat. Could have seen that one coming. True Mando fashion. He gets double crossed pretty much every episode.
Yeah.
And then we get a little surprise there.
Yeah, so those bastards put Baby Yoda into the
Sons of bitches.
into the monster. It was an M word. I can't remember what it was called. And then we get some saviors coming down, some Mandalorians coming down and
right.
helping out.
And before we go any further, some fantastic appearances. We get Katie Sackhoff playing Bo-Katan, and then we get Titus Welliver as the captain of the ship we're going to talk about later. We also shout out to my homegirl Sasha Banks, love her, jumping in there as one of the Mandalorian saviors. And I know that was I know they kind of showed her in the trailer, and everybody freaked out, the whole wrestling world and the Star Wars world. There's a lot of crossover there, and I think everybody kind of freaked out. So it was nice to see her get, kind of a full episode to be. And based on what happens with the interaction of the Mandalorian people here, I'm going to bet she's going to show up again sometimes later.
I hope so. One of the big things that they show off is that they take their helmets off, and then they immediately criticize Jaren for not taking his helmet off, saying that he's part of a religious sect, basically a religious cult. And we find out that he's in the minority, like by great strides.
Well, by their account, he's in the minority. We don't know. I remember, and I didn't watch all the way through. I think the Mandalorians first popped up in the Clone Wars animated show. And I remember seeing a few episodes where they were on Mandalore or whatever planet they were occupying, and I do remember them going into like the Jaren side of Mandalorian lore. It's possible that they would have discussed other cultural aspects of the Mandalorian population outside of that. I don't remember. I don't know if I watched far enough through to get that. This was very interesting to see that, we have different sects of Mandalorian, and it would make sense with the whole you can't remove your helmet deal that he probably is part of a cult, knowing that they're totally okay with, removing the helmets. And then, of course, later on we find out that Bo-Katan is some kind of heir to the throne of sorts, and we can jump into that in a little bit. I don't know if we're going to set it up a little better.
Yeah, so they promise to tell Jaren where the Jedi are, where he can deliver the child, the Baby Yoda, if he helps them take out this one Empire transport and get the weapons off of it.
And a lot of weapons, by the way.
A lot of weapons.
A whole bunch of weapons.
We also see just how powerful a group of Mandalorians can be when they're working together, and just clearing out.
Also, were they that powerful? Because and this has always been the joke in Star Wars. The stormtroopers can't hit shit, and they never have. And so they even mention it in the episode, like, oh, they couldn't hit the broadside of a bantha. Like kind of always referencing the running joke. And so, when are we gonna get a group of stormtroopers that does something? Like,
but that's the issue though.
Someone.
Stormtroopers are like conscripts. They're essentially like they're like as good as me just getting a shotgun from the barn and going out to fight a war. Like they don't know what they're doing. If they were clone troopers, then it would be different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. But there's gotta be one of them that can hit something. I mean, you gotta have like even just by the law of averages, there's gotta be one stormtrooper in every squad who can kind of shoot.
You're right, but that's when they put on the black armor and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take you out to this like elite group." All the people were white. They're cannon fodder.
So bad.
It really is bad.
Yeah,
and also
but we did get some pretty sweet. We get some pretty sweet gunfighting though.
Yeah, we do. We got a good gunfighting. We got the one like lieutenant or whatever trapping himself in the wrong section of the ship.
That was funny. Yeah. He's like, where did you seal them into? Oh yeah, the control that can suck us out the back end. So, and that happened. So, and then we get right before the captain, cyanides himself, basically electric cyanide, I guess. Right before he does that, we find out that the reason they were taking the ship is so Bo-Katan can get the dark saber back.
Yes.
And I had seen some rumors about this leading up to the season, some kind of dark saber. Obviously, it's going to be whatever she needs to retake the throne, whether it's a symbolic piece or if it's got some kind of special Jedi workaround. I don't know.
It is actually a symbolic piece, and I looked it up at the end of the last season. It was crafted on Mandalore, and it was crafted, and it essentially is like the leadership mantle. So we don't really, it like disappeared at some point, and we don't know how Moff Gideon ended up in control of it. But one thing that I have noted here is that even though the Empire was defeated, you still see all these fringe elements of it. Because they blew the Death Star up twice. That doesn't necessarily dissolve all the outside elements of the Empire. Yeah. All of their command structure is still going to be in place. So we still see things that even though they might be illegal in the New Republic, they are still working because it's a galaxy. They have plenty of room to work with.
And they didn't do a great job in Rise of Skywalker explaining the elements of the First Order that were kind of still around. And that's another discussion for another day.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes for now instead of getting into that.
But, so we do know that there were these elements out there, and it makes sense too. Like you said, just because the top leadership of and the main base is gone. I mean, they're spread over how many systems, and have outposts and control points and all these systems. So it makes sense that they're still there, and there's always going to be that power vacuum now that they're kind of someone's looking to fill, and Moff Gideon has stepped into that role, at least in terms of our story. And so to reference how he got the Darksaber, I mean, he's a pollo loco. That's how he has it. He just gets things done in the bottom of a laundry facility. That's how he gets things done.
He smuggled it in a bucket of fried bantha, and that's how it happened.
Yes, fried bantha batter.
Yeah.
Anyway. For anybody who hasn't seen Breaking Bad, spoiler alert.
I mean, you've had your time.
It's been long enough. So then first of all, then he goes and picks up Baby Yoda. Again, not calling it the child. He goes and picks up Baby Yoda from Frog Lady and Frog Guy. And Baby Yoda is apparently getting along with the one offspring that hatched. Yes. Or was he just sizing him up?
He sees the little hatchling and he's like, oh, just like playing it like Gucci Goose type of thing. I think he finally got an appreciation instead of just being hungry the whole time.
Yes. Very hungry, Baby Yoda. Very hungry.
Also, I wanted to say, at the start of the episode, Baby Yoda's sleeping standing up. He's not laying down in the chair when they're in the cockpit. He's just standing.
Oh, maybe. I mean, he's Baby Yoda. He does what he wants.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
So anyway, go ahead.
So I also want to say, when they're in the carrier cleaning out all the stormtroopers, Bo-Katan hits Mando with the "This is the way" after changing the deal, and that was another clash of the two different philosophies that we see
Yeah,
between his and the others. They were Order of the Watch. Is that what Mando's?
what she referred to them as.
Yeah, and I don't remember if they even said their piece of Mandalorian lore. I don't remember what their group name was.
I'm sure we can find it on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's already written a full Wikipedia.
Right. Yeah. There's probably 17 pages of documents on it.
There's one more thing that I want to talk about, and I want to know if you caught it.
Are we talking about the second bombshell, or is that what we're talking about? Or
yeah, well, let's see what your second bombshell is.
the second bombshell is one of the biggest fan service things they've ever done in Star Wars.
Yes.
We get Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tano, which they for people that don't know, the 3D Clone Wars is basically is her story.
It basically is her story, yes.
And she was essentially the last remaining Jedi now, and the fact that they just casually drop it and say basically, yeah, she's alive, you can go find her at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to live up to that?
My jaw was open when she dropped that.
Because
we had rumors of Ahsoka's going to be in the season. We've had no mention of her. I don't even know if we know who's playing her. I mean, I've seen different people.
That was another question. Is how you have this 3D character, right? She's super badass. She's got a great I think the Clone Wars ran for 7 seasons, right? And
yeah, something like that.
How are you going to have a character or an actress that lives up to that? How are they possibly going to bring that in so the fan base doesn't riot?
In Jon Favreau, we trust.
Yeah, that is true. He
has absolutely knocked it out of the park running the show.
Yeah, totally agree. Also, this was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, which was
She did one or two in the first season as well.
Yeah.
Which again, for you people who like filmmaking and things like that, go check out the Star Wars Star Wars gallery or whatever they call it, the docu series where they kind of do a round table with all the people who directed episodes and then kind of take it behind the scenes a little bit. It's really good. I watched it after I finished season 1 of Mando, and it's very good.
What a weird pacing strategy. We're in the 3rd episode of the season, and they drop multiple universe bombshells on us.
Yeah. Well, we already know they're getting renewed for as long as they want to run the show. So they've done enough work already through a season and a half that, however long they want to run it.
That's what happens when you carry a Disney Plus subscription. For everyone,
right.
They're pulling their weight. Is all I'm saying.
Disney's gonna let them keep doing whatever the heck they want to do. So I think that kind of wraps us up here. We get he's on his way to go find Ahsoka. We think maybe is it another wild goose chase?
Probably.
One quick bit. I don't think she's the last. And I've Star Wars nerded with all this before. I say there's multiple Jedi still around the universe, and I'm hoping that through the Mandalorian series we get to find them. Not just Ahsoka, because they didn't all get executed at once. A lot of them probably went into hiding. I mean, this is an hour-long discussion we can have, but anyway, that's just my 2 cents. We got to get out here. It's Saturday. It's college game day. This has been the Bros Watch the Mandalorian, episode 3, season 2, episode 3, chapter 11. Enjoy the Masters. Enjoy college football, and we will see everybody back here next week.
All right. See ya.